All right, guys, so to get comments in there and working, we actually need a sign up route so that people can sign up. So I'm going to close all of these, and we have a page that we can basically copy. So it's going to be this login.js. And this has a form in it. It has two of the fields we'll need. So we're just going to copy this. So go ahead and select all and copy. And then in Pages, let's create a new file called signup.js. Let's paste this in here, and then down here, at the very bottom, the component that we're actually exporting, let's change this to sign up. Copy this. And then up at the top, let's rename the component to sign up. Now the fields that we'll need here are going to be a little bit different. We're going to need an email. We're also going to need a name and then password. And we're going to make them type their password a second time to make sure that they get it right, basically. So name is going to be name. Type is going to be text, and the placeholder is going to be your name. Then we're going to copy password and put a comma here. Name is going to be password 2, and the placeholder is going to be password again. So let's save this. And now we're going to change the length to 6. So call medium 6. Let's go ahead and save. And then in the validation schema, we can actually use a test function in order to test if the two passwords match. All right. So in validation schema here, we're going to need to add email or name in the map props to values. And then under password, we need password 2, and that's going to be equal to blank by default as well. So in the validation schema, let's go ahead and type name, and this needs to be yup string required. And the message, if they don't fill it in and we need it, is going to be we need your name. Then a comma. We've already got email in there. We've got password. And now we need to configure password 2. Now, we actually need this. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to set a requirement on the length of the password, so minimum of 8 characters. And so how we'll do that is after yup.string, after that function, we'll put a .min, and in here we'll pass 2 parameters. The first one is going to be a number, which is the minimum length that the string needs to be, so 8. And then a second parameter, which is the message, if the password is less than that. So passwords need to be at least 8 characters long. All right, so now in password 2, let's go ahead and type yup.string.required, and you need to enter your password again, and then .test. And the test is a function, so we're going to give it a name as the first parameter, which is going to be pass match. The message if this test does not return true, which will be passwords don't match, and then the actual function, which takes in the current value of this input, so password 2. So value. And then we open up curly braces, and in here we're going to get const password equals this dot parent. So now in this function we have value, which is being passed in as a parameter to this test function, which is equal to password 2. And we also have password from this dot parent, which is equal to this. So now all we have to do is return password equals value. So return password equals value. And now let's save this. And basically, if this is not true, it will print out the message, passwords don't match. And then what we need to do is have the login function, we need to replace that with register. And we're going to need name, email, and pass. We actually don't need password number 2. We don't need that at all. And then in form.onSubmit, let's change this to register. And the first property needs to be this .props.values.name. And then this .props.values.email and this .props.values.password. And let's also change this login text to sign up. Let's save. And then in app.js, where we have all of our routes, we're going to find the login route. Which we actually don't have a login route. Okay, so it's just admin embeds a login route. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a route. Exact is going to be true. Path is going to be sign up. And render now, if they're already logged in, we don't want them to sign up again. So we will redirect to the home page. So if this .props.auth.token, we will return redirect to /. Else, we will return login wrapper and the sign up component. Now we actually haven't imported either redirect or sign up. So way up at the top here, from React Router DOM, let's also import redirect. And then let's import sign up from components, pages, sign up. Let's go ahead and save this. And I just realized something. We're logged in. Oh, no, we're not. Okay. All right, awesome. Now these fields are all very small. That's very strange. Can we figure out why? What is going on here? Display block width 100. Form group. And call medium 6. All right. The form is the problem. Well, it's one of the problems. Width 100%. Okay, yeah, the form is definitely one of the problems. And then form group. Well, why is call medium 6? Oh, because the form is not a row. Okay. So in form, let's add class name row directly on the form. And save. There we go. That's exactly what we want to see. Now that yellow button that says login also needs to say sign up. So let's save this. Now we've got this form, and if I type in a password and then I type in a completely different password and hit tab, you can see that our test function is working and it's recognizing that these passwords don't match, which is exactly what we want. So now all we need to do is actually create that auth actions register function. So let's jump into that. So auth actions. Oh, we already have one. Okay. So we're actually passing in name, email, and password. Now, I don't recall when we wrote this, but it doesn't look like it's actually hooked up to the API. So, good enough. Return dispatch. And I'm just going to comment this out for now. And what we'll do is API register with name, email, pass, and the res. If res.status equals 200, this means it has succeeded. Then what we're going to do is something sneaky, actually. We're going to just dispatch this login function that's already here. So it's going to automatically log them in. So all we need to do in order to do that is right here, if status equals 200, let's dispatch login with the email that was passed to this function and the password that was passed to this function. So let's go ahead and save. And now, basically what we've just thrown together, and it should work exactly as we've thrown it together, is on this sign up page, we fill in the form fields, make sure everything matches, and then we call register. On register, we'll connect to the API, register the account, and then also dispatch login. Now, when login gets triggered, it's going to basically attempt to log into the account. And if it's successful, then it sets the data. And then in app, for that route that we just created, if a token exists, redirect to the home page. Now, this will always take effect. So as soon as the state changes and the token is set from the auto login after register, this redirect will occur, or it should. Now, in the utils in API, did we actually create a register function here? I don't think we did. So it's very simple to do. Basically, with login, we posted to API/users/login. So let's create a register function. We get name, email, and pass, and success. And then we'll say Axios post to our host/API/users. And we will say name is equal to name, email is equal to email, and pass word is equal to pass. Then, with the result, call the success function, which we've already coded. So let's save. We're good to go. Maybe not. We forgot one comma. And that one comma basically crashed the entire site. It's generally, like, once you guys, if you've worked in web development before, you'll know that generally those really, really small issues, small in terms of the fix, are huge in terms of the impact. So generally, I mean, sometimes a big problem, like a site crashing when you click a button or something, sometimes the fix is very hard. But a lot of times I find that it's that one tiny, like a one character fix or a one line of code fix that just fixes the problem. Anyway, so on our sign up page, let's go ahead, nick@nick.com. My name is Nick. My password is going to be password1 and then password1. And let's sign up. And we didn't get redirected. What happened? Validation error. Did we post it? Okay. The user instance is not valid. Email already exists. Okay. So we need to do something else here. In auth reducer, we also need to have error. And right now it's null. But we'll actually key into this. So if, well, one sec. Case show error. We will return ... state, and then error is going to be action.payload. Let's go ahead and save this. And then in auth actions, if the status is 200, we'll do that. Else, if res message, we will dispatch. Type is going to be show error. And then the payload is going to be res.message. So let's save this. And then on sign up, right here, class name is going to be text danger text center. This.props.auth.error or nothing. Let's go ahead and save. All right. So now if I do that again, there. Sure. Sign up. Oh, because that error, okay. Res.error.message. So res.error.message. Copy this here. All right, let's save. It's going to refresh. We're going to have to try and trigger this error again. And it's still not response. All right, so register if res.status equals 200. Let me console log res. It's going to be res. So let's save. Let's try and trigger that again. And look at the console. Oh, okay. What's happening here is in our API, this then function expects the request to succeed. Now we can also chain this with dot on, or its catch. And we'll still call success with the error, which should, I think, work. Okay. Res error. Can't read property message of undefined. Alright, it looks like it just returns plain text. So let me see. I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Sorry, in quotes. All right, well, let's do this. So I guess that's just res. So we will just save it and show that whole error, I guess. Now we could try and split it at the new line. Character. Objects are not valid. Well, now see, it's saying that that's an object, but it's actually all right. What I'm gonna do, there was an error. Do you already have an account? Sure. And that way we don't have to worry about the actual error returned from... Oh, what's going on now? Okay. It's because that error already got set. Let's refresh. All right, so Nick. All right, there was an error. Do you already have an account? Now, we should also put a link maybe here to the login page, but let's not worry about that right now. n@n.com, sign up, and it automatically logs us in. So now we can access admin, which we shouldn't be able to because we are not an admin. We are only we're only a regular user, so we'll have to lock that down too, but we won't worry about that right now. Right now we've got basically users able to register, and their role is, I'm going to say, if we actually set it up within our API, auth user does not have a role at all. All right. So there we go. Users can now sign up. So now what we need is a comment form and a handler to handle comments being uploaded and deleted. So let's move on to that.